Hello, YouTube and their crypto enthusiasts, and welcome to another episode of Equibit Trading. Let's do what we do best at this channel, and that is to predict the price and the movement of Bitcoin the next coming days and weeks. So, Bitcoin was in a little bit of trouble yesterday. Um, we almost broke this triangle. Actually, we did break it, but we kind of jumped above it. So let's talk about the triangle that we've been talking about now for, well, ever since we were here. We were talking about this formation, or I think it was here, of this large triangle. That seems to me we are sort of invalidating. Um, Not completely, but enough for me to make a smaller triangle. Because the problem was we didn't reach the top of the triangle here, and and that can be a good thing as well. Because ideally, we would go down, we go up, and we get clear touches here. We didn't go all the way up here and make those touches, which sort of make us just have a touch here and here, um, and here up here on the wig. Um, but this might be a good thing because now we get to make a little bit of a smaller triangle here. And once we break this smaller triangle, because this is still the green one here, is still a valid triangle. And if we zoom in, we don't cut any, um, we only cut the wigs. We only have two touch points. I think we're going to get a third one. Um, so that might be a good thing for us because then we will bounce out of this triangle, maybe, if we don't go to the downside. And if we go and bounce out of this triangle, um, you know, the target for this would still be $10,000, which means that we are going to go up and touch this line at least. So either we break it. If we don't break it, then we make the blue triangle here more valid again, even though it don't really touch it up here, and it doesn't really touch it up here. So the little bit of a problem is we don't have a touch here on the downside, but still, if we break this to the upside, then we are going up to this line most likely. Um, Things can happen. You never know 100% for sure, but I would imagine if we come up here, break this triangle, bounce from the downward sloping resistance, we will go up here. Not financial advice, but that's what I believe will happen. We might also break it to the downside. The thing on the downside is we do have this trend line here from the breakout um, of the 10K, the 10K. Let's make one for the 20K as well, from where we broke 20,000, because that is much steeper, and we will see where that takes us. Because you see, we didn't start to go really vertical before 20K was broken, and then we get into a second gear after I think 30K was broken. So we already broken the trend line um, of the breakout of the 20K, because that would take us roughly here. Now, of course, it's down here, but it doesn't do anything for us when we are at the bottom. So this was the trend line that was broken, but that could not continue forever, and especially not this could not continue forever. then we would be at 100 million within a year or something. Um, so we do have this to support us. And what is interesting is we have this little ledger here of support, and we also have this one. So we're practically now beyond the point um, where this one come into play, then we need to break this one first. So my prediction is that if we break to the downside of the green triangle, um, we are at least going to see a bounce here. Well, first we will probably see a bounce here at 26,000, 27,000, and maybe all the way up here. Maybe this is the most likely 27. So depending on how much time we use to get down here, um, the more bullish it become, because then we have support down here. We don't have to go all the way down to this support. We can bounce from this line. And if we get a bounce on this line, then um, we're gonna gain some time and then maybe retest it and bounce above this again. So say if we went down here, got a bounce, came down here, broke through, we might have a bounce here and go back up or in this and then back up, and then we're kind of um, have double support from here and here, and maybe we will continue to follow this line upwards, or maybe get go up, go down a little bit, but still keep the bull market going on this line here. So that might be a possibility. So I wouldn't, if I were to get in now, I would be not have my hopes up too much to go all the way down here. And down here seems a little bit unlikely on this huge support. I don't think we need right now in the current bull market to go down and test this, because I think most people are of the sentiment that they will buy down here, and I think the market knows that there is a lot of people that will come back in here, because this would almost reset Bitcoin, not entirely. I think the real reset, the price that we are definitely never going down to, is down here at 10K. I think we're never gonna see Bitcoin at 10K again. But there is a little bit of a cloud on the horizon, and that is the USD Tether. I advise you all to do some searches on USD Tether to figure out what's going on. But in short, USD Tether is a stable coin that stands for like 50% of the volume traded in Bitcoin is about 100 million a day. And this is mostly used by East Asia to buy Bitcoin, and they are currently having a hearing in U.S. courts about the claim that because USD Tether they claim that they are 100% backed by USD dollars. They kind of fallen a little bit back on that claim, but now they say, well, we are 70% backed by USD dollars, and then some is backed by Bitcoin, some is backed by real estate, but they still say they have 100% backing. So it's a long story. The effect of this, if Tether proves to be a scam or not be fully backed by US dollars as they claim to be. I don't think it's a full scam, but they might not have 100% backing. Then we might see a little bit of a flash crash in Bitcoin. I mean, USD Tether market cap is only like 23 billion. So it's a tiny percent of the overall market cap of a trillion. But still, it might cause some panic, and the people holding USD Tether might get wrecked. So it will definitely stir up the market. But for me, this is if this happen, I'm happy because that's a buy the dip opportunity, the way I see it. And Tether will go away, and there will be a little bit of a turmoil for a while. Um, I myself do not hold Tether. I try to stay away from exchanges that use Tether because if something were to happen to Tether, those exchanges might have a lot of Tether. They might be in trouble. They might go bankrupt. I don't know. I don't know how they kind of secure themselves against this, but most likely they have some sort of insurance or something, or don't hold too much Tether because everyone knows that this is going on and that there is a hearing and probably going to be a lawsuit, and Tether have to prove themselves that they are, first of all, not a security, which they are not, but also that they have backing. Um, the other stable coins, they have already proven that they have fully backed, that their currency is fully backed by USD dollars. So we, in the long term, we would just change to them. It might create a little bit of a liquidity problem in the short term, as 50% of trading is done with USD Tether. So that might create a liquidity problem for the market, and we would probably see violent swings in the Bitcoin price. But for the long term, the effect is kind of negligible in my eyes. But it's something to be aware of at least. So do some research on that to fully understand it. So yeah, let's. Well, there was also the Fed chair. This is bullish news for Bitcoin. He is saying that the United States Federal Reserves is welcoming higher inflation, and this is what we're hedging against with Bitcoin. So they're going to continue to print money. They're going to continue to buy toxic assets and um, other securities. So yeah, this is bullish for Bitcoin. They're going to try to create inflation over 2% for a short term. So next few years probably, interest rate's going to be like zero. They're going to keep printing money, and they probably do everything they can to inflate the debt they already have. Um, Another bullish thing for Bitcoin is that the United States is trying to combat the Chinese mining pool advantage. So we see that uh, US based miner pool is growing. This is bullish because there seems to be a battle between the Chinese and USA about who controls Bitcoin, who's going to control Internet 2.0, because this is to me what the Bitcoin is. Um, they could come together and both decide to ban it, but that would be like both countries coming together and banning nukes. Is not going to happen. They will compete to see who can take control of it, and I think the United States want to be in control of Bitcoin in the same way that they are control of Internet 1.0, normal internet with Google and with all these big tech companies. So I don't think the Chinese dominance in Bitcoin is going to last forever. And I don't see the possibility that both countries will come together and ban it. So Bitcoin is something that is here to stay. And we see a lot of politicians now also being very pro Bitcoin, probably because they are invested in it themselves as well. So we saw the mayor of, I think it was Miami, that posted a white paper um, on the his web page, and this is something that is bullish for Bitcoin if the powers to be have interest in Bitcoin. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin dominance. It is dropping, but it's sort of flattening out. And here it's sort of increasing a little bit. Um, and this is also something that I think we will see happen now is for the Bitcoin dominance to go up. Um, because a lot of people now already made a lot of money in altcoins and probably they want to secure those profits by moving it to Bitcoin. So let's see if we can see some trend lines breaking here. Yeah, here we break this trend line to the upside because this has been going down for quite some while now. So it's time for a reversal in the Bitcoin dominance, I believe. And as soon as we can break this line, if we break it, then I think we're going to see a lot of the people selling their altcoins and going back into Bitcoin. So that's it for the Bitcoin dominance. So I think that is it for today's video. We will have a decision by February the 4th. So we just need to kind of watch it closely now for a couple of more days. Today's the 28th, so 5 days, yeah. That should well, no, it's a week. Yeah, for another week, 7 days. Then we should have a decision. So maybe next week, over the weekend, Bitcoin might have made its decision if it's going to go to the downside or if it's going to go to the upside. So watch this triangle very closely, and I'm hoping to get in a legendary trade here if we go to the upside. If we go to the downside, I will not short. Um, I will um, uh, I will find um, places to buy Bitcoin. I don't short in a major uptrend. Um, maybe like very limited short um, is possible to do. Let's see where would be a good shorting position. Please, we need to break this line. It's not going to be as legendary, and we have this line supporting here. So yeah, if we break this, then we have this one. It depends how far we are off this line. And we zoom out a little bit. Oh, not on this time frame. Yeah, we are on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 1 hour. So a good shorting position would maybe be at the confirmation of this breakout from this line down to this line. But it's not a huge move. And here we have some support. So underneath this line, but we will see that pattern if that happened, and then we might do one from here down to 27. But yeah, stay tuned. Maybe there is a possibility there, but I don't short long-term Bitcoin in an uptrend. Then it would be for a very, very short, on a very, very short time frame. So let's stay tuned for a couple of more days, and maybe we will get another leg to the upside. And as always, remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on anything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.